But you couldn't get better conditions for a game of football at the Western Oval as umpire Westgarth gets us underway. Footscray going right to left in the first quarter. Liberatore the first kick. And the whistle's gone. It's going to be a free kick to Scott Wine, the ruckman, from the opening bounce. Gary Lyon won the toss and elected to go left to right. Very slight breeze going that way. Hardly anything to speak of. Hargraves can't quite take the mark. Brett Lovett from Melbourne gathers at half-back for the D's. Across the half-back line. He's done all right there. Gets the ball up the ground. They're up over centre wing now. But disappointing kick by Dyson. And the mark is taken in defence. Cross half-back. Johnson. Now Collinwood. Kick by Collinwood to centre wing. And Grant, a long way up from the forward line, takes the mark just behind the wing. His pass to Osborne is good. And Aussie's got it. He's about 2.5 kicks to goal from there. The kick is still outside the 50. Liberatore had an awkward one. Sexton for Footscray. The hand pass comes back. Costa. He's still got it. Kim Costa. Costa round the corner. Primke in front. Leading Grigich to the ball. Gee, Costa went in hard to follow up. Primke goes towards White. White bumbles a kick. It's gone Footscray's way. West. Kick by West. Straight to the opposition. Cowell will take the mark or the free kick.
So Darren Cowell at half-back. Matthew Phoebe not taking his place in the side, replaced by Lample. Now he brings it across the face. And he found Gaspar further afield. And this is Andrew Obbs, the former Port Adelaide star. Real honest goer he is for Melbourne, been a terrific player. To the half-back area, 2-on-1 contest here. Footscray will win out. Cameron, cleverly kept it in and then eventually is forced over the line and on its way by Stephen Phoebe.
Peter, Footscray have opened up with a very tall forward line. In there they've got Hargraves, Osborne, Ridgick, Grant and Ben Sexton. So 5 out of the 6 are well over 6 foot tall.
So Scott Wine versus Steins, that could have a huge bearing on the game, Terry.
It will. Jim Steins' mobility, but Scott Wine's strength and the way in which he controls bounces in the aerial work for Footscray, feeding his smaller players of Liberatore and Cameron.
So again, it's those two players we mentioned. Why not? They both missed it. Here's Quill, a familiar run of his. Pretty easy to pick, Peter Quill. Keeps it in, actually. That was good play by Quill. There's Steins and Obbs. Steins gets in a hand pass on to Steve Phoebe. Kicks it straight to Scott Wine. Wine brings it in towards the square, looking for Grigich. The ball hits the deck. It's socked off the ground. And socked through for a behind of the Bulldogs. And that was by Nigel Callett.
Nigel Callett will be looked to do a lot of that here today. If Alan Joyce is going to maintain this tall structure in the forward line, the roving work, Callett, Collinwood, they're going to be very important at the foot of the contests.
Seacamp for Melbourne to bring the ball in. Straight up the ground, hardly a contest. Primke takes the mark. The ground a bit shifting, but not bad considering it was a lake about a week ago. Seacamp had followed up.
Did very well on James Hird last week, Drew.
Kick by Seacamp. Bit of distance now. Steins is there for Melbourne. Tries to palm on. Can't take the mark. Costa. Well played by Kim Costa. He burst out of that from nowhere. Ball bounces through to Kellett. Seacamp does well. Tunnels it. Libber's there. Almost throws the ball up to Osborne. Osborne on the run. Beats Sean White's tackle. Hooks it back in front of goal. He's decked after he got rid of it. The whistle's gone, and it's to be.
That was hip and shoulder. The umpire's played it down the ground, and Seacamp hit him hip and shoulder, and the umpire signalled it was a push in the back.
So Grigich will have the free kick almost right in front, and about 20 to 25 metres out. So it should be the first goal of the game. A relayed free to Ilya Grigich. Oh, he's got it away to the right. Fancy missing from there.
I don't think the footing is all that good there around about the centre foot area. It looks to be the heaviest spot on the ground.
That's true enough, Peter, but I think
shouldn't miss.
That's the spot where the Footscray players practice their goal kicking from. That particular end and in that area, Ilya Grigich during the week would have had at least 100 shots from there, I'm sure.
So Steve Phoebe takes the punt, gives it to Cowell on the Seacamp. He'll be happy that that last shot by Grigich missed. He was looking for Neitz. Here's Costa. Further afield to Griffin. Griffin to the half-forward line. It bounces for Grant. The ball's sitting up in the, well, it's heavy in part. Hargraves has been in terrific form. Good mark. The chip passes on. Well played, Daniel Hargraves. And the mark has been taken by Sexton. Good lead, good kick.
Yeah, good clean transference of the football there. Getting Grant on the wing, turning, finding Hargraves, wasting no time to find Ben Sexton. So 3 of the talls in the forward line worked very well there together.
Well, Hargraves, a 19-year-old centre-half forward, a very, very promising young player. Sexton's been in and out of the side. This would be a big boost to his confidence if he can kick it. It's an ordinary kick across the face. And that's a mark, in fact. I don't think they've even made the distance. A mark there to Jimmy Steins.
Very ordinary attempt by Sexton. And towards the outer side of the ground, marks taken by Primke. Still inside the 50, up towards half, or over half back, and Steins had doubled on. Dyson to half forward, gets to the back of the pack, whistle's gone. Footscray free kick. The Melbourne fans not too happy about it, and it's to be taken by Griffin. Darryl Griffin, a 19-year-old, playing his 10th game in his first season. Kick by Griffin towards half forward. Steins up. Liberatore for Footscray. Libba, bit of dancing. We're still looking for the first goal. The kick to centre half forward. A one-hander by Grant.
It's a great take, isn't it? To still be able to float in there. The big right arm goes out and claws it in with the fingers. Distance could test Chris Grant here. It's as Peter has mentioned earlier, the footing will be very, very difficult to take.
Grant right in front. He'll be kicking from about 40 metres out. Kick looks good. First goal.
That was a very good kick, and Liberatore involved in the build-up as he normally is, but Chris Grant didn't come back onto the ground last week after half-time, after getting a knock high on the hamstring, but was trained right throughout the week and has certainly opened up nice and freshly here this afternoon.
It's all Footscray at the moment. Steins taps it down. Brett Lovett. Quick kick to the half-forward line. Footscray looking pretty solid. Smith and Collinock with a quick hand pass out in the direction of Cameron. Cameron highly skilled under Smith, who's had a great year. Oh, clever kick. Grant got his hand to it. Good play, Grant. Then he took a dive, and the umpire sensibly not paying the free kick and calling for a throw-in. So it's on centre wing, right in front of the one-eyed Footscray supporters here. They certainly make plenty of noise. Steins versus Scott Wine. Oh, they both missed it again. Then Wine follows up. That was good play by Wine. Still in play, taken by Obbs. Bumped off the ball. Still in play. Collinock to Osborne. Osborne versus Seacamp. 2 former Fitzroy teammates combining that well against each other then. Todd Viney gets it to Stephen Phoebe. Phoebe to Neitz. Oh, he's a good mark. He's a very good player, this guy, David Neitz.
Kick by Neitz to the forward line. Lyon into the play for the first time, and 100% perfect Gary Lyon.
That is a very good mark, because if you consider he was looking right into the sun, every chance he would have lost a vision of the ball, as what you see here. Both boys looking right directly into the sun. Great take, Gary Lyon.
Now he's right in front. Even the man on the mark's outside 50. Whatever breeze is behind him, but it wouldn't add a yard to the kick. This would need to be his best. Plenty of elevation, not quite there. Wind off the hands and through for a behind. The Demons' first score, and they've taken about 8 minutes to get on the board. Footscray 1-2, Melbourne a point.
I think anywhere near 50 metres today will be a very difficult kick for goal with the holding sort of conditions. And there's Rowan Smith, a real, well, there's not many quicker players in the competition, Terry, than this guy.
No, he's really come of age as he's settled into the half-back flank. Started the year at half-forward and actually kicked a few goals, but of late has made a real name for himself in the half-back line.
So Rowan Smith, a booming kick, way out to half-back. Steins and Winder there contesting. That was Quill, the West. West de Liberatore, he breaks the tackle. Then he gets it to Cameron. Footscray looking good early in the piece. Towards half-forward, Grant, he looks good. On to Cameron, beautiful back-up play. This a low trajectory kick. But it goes straight towards half-back to Gaspar. On to White. White to centre wing, and here's Glenn Lovett.
Lovett just forward of the wing now, turning Kolonyuk inside out. Oh, he looked for the lead, but a very ordinary kick off the left. Liberatore has been spectacular early. Costa, but Liver will take the free kick for a high tackle. Pretty easy to tackle him high. Kick by Liberatore to half forward. Hargraves with one hand, not quite enough. And this is his opponent, Gaspar. Two youngsters on each other. Hilton, kick by Hilton wide. Lovell takes the mark. Lovell being picked up by Griffin, a first-year player. Kick by Lovell in the direction of Lyon. Oh, once again, Gary Lyon. That's a free kick, not a mark. He got the interference on that occasion from Brad Nicholson. Gary Lyon too far out to score.
But for the interference, he would have taken the mark for sure.
Gary Lyon, remember, he kicked 10 against Footscray in a semi-final last year. He thumps this. It's landing 25 metres from goal. Smith is there. He didn't climb this time. Lovell punches through the pack. West for Footscray. Kicked by Scott West. A dive. Great mark, Kolonyuk.
Very good mark as you called it, Drew. Now he plays on to West. West to the half-forward line. Here's Hargraves. Oh, he's going to be a problem there for Gaspar, I would think. Hargraves very strong overhead. Low trajectory kick. He's looking for Sexton. Well, he's paid the free kick against Sean White. I'm not so sure of that one. Well, the free kick has been paid. Sean White. Now, let's see. They're both... Oh, goodness me.
A bit of a claim there, but the way in which Alan Joyce has structured the side with all the talls there, the Melbourne defence is always going to look to potentially scrag and hold this taller opponent in marking duels, and I think the umpires are going to be on the lookout for it. That one may not have been there, but it will be a tactic that the smaller defence will have to watch.
Very lucky free kick to Sexton. It's starting to come back. Might have just missed, I think. Well, I don't know about this umpiring. I don't want to harp on it, but they've got to improve and not pay these ticky. That was man on man. They've just got to cut that out.
I thought there was a bit of arm in that, Pete.
Oh, but they've got... you've got to... You start paying those, you won't get any free-flowing play in the game.
Gaspar back to Seacamp. Kick up towards centre wing. Viney, a good hand pass into Glenn Lovett. On the run. Lovett looking for Lyon. On the bounce. And well done by his man Nicholson to get it away. Hilton into Andy Lovell. The pass is good. Hop good. Oh, well cut off by Kolonyuk. Footscray dominating. They're 1-3 to a point. Wine palms it to himself. Back he goes to Quill. Osborne gets rid of Seacamp. Two former Fitzroy players. Here's Marcus Seacamp. The hand pass is too high for Viney. Liberatore's had a heap of the leather. Cameron. Sexton's been all right, but has kicked inaccurately. This time Sexton has got it. Doggies dominating. 2-3 to a point.
Well, they'll certainly do Ben Sexton the world of good. He has been in and out of the side, and actually, in fact, only played one of the last 14 games, but returns this week into the forward line, structurally to replace Danny Southern. But the main emphasis of Footscray has been their half-back line. They've been very good back there, being able to quell the Melbourne forward line, then turning it with good rebound football back up through the midfield.
So back we go to the centre. It's been all Footscray. 2-3 to a point at the moment. Melbourne will have to get something going shortly. There's Glenn Lovett. And Quill is in there working hard. Number 22, there he is. He's having a good season. Peter Quill looks to have really come of age as a footballer. So again, the bounce. A good bounce by the umpire too, as we see Wine hooking it back. There was Hopgood grabbed. Quill doing well to Kolonyuk. Will it sit for him? He's got it. Steve Kolonyuk hooks it back. A big chance here. Sexton Lent into wide. Oh, good pick up by Callett. Well played by Callett. Sean White should go to the line here. Umpire paid a free kick on the boundary line to Callett. So Nigel Callett will kick from deep in the pocket, right on the boundary line. Let's see what happened. It's Primke coming at him. Oh, well, he was thrown into the fence after he got rid of the ball. That's what the free kick is for. Now he's running out. Now he's giving himself plenty of room. No one came at him. Callett goes back. I think he might have kicked the goal here. Yes. Good kicking by Callett, but no one came at him in it. An easy shot.
Yeah, the Melbourne defence looks quite disrabbled at the moment. They had no one there guarding the run from Nigel Callett. He had sufficient time to actually come out and then straighten himself up again so that he wasn't kicking on the curve. He had everything going for him and really executed the kick very, very well. Footscray with the 3 first goals has certainly taken the early jump, and Melbourne will have to do something here now so this game doesn't get away from them too quickly.
And it looked like Callett had hit the fence and he's bleeding in the arm, and the trainer trying to get the blood off him before the umpire sees it. Forward edge of the centre square, Melbourne's way. Footscray free kick. Liberatore has been fantastic. Up to Osborne. Seacamp did well. Osborne suckers away from him. He's had a marvellous year, Richard Osborne. Played every game. Still going Aussie. And still going. And the ball's up near the 50. Well, for a bloke who tried to be a kicker in gridiron in America, he was lucky to be drafted and he's played every game.
Oh, he's been a very valuable player. I mean, he led Fitzroy's goal kicking 5 times. He's the leading goal kicker here now at Footscray. He's done everything that's been asked of him.
Scott Wine got the tap out, but it's Stephen Phoebe kicking on the left foot. He looked like his brother there for sure, but Neats. Well played. Gee, they're working hard. Costa is in there. And Stanfield. They're going very hard. Costa again. Goes to ground. Caught in a very strong tackle.
Did you just say that Stephen Phoebe?
No, I thought you might pick me up on that.
Identical twins. What else would he look like?
Because he kicked on the left foot, I was talking about his. I knew some smarty would pick me up, but it'd have to be you, Drew. Centre wing. I knew you wouldn't let it go, that's for sure.
I couldn't.
Oh. Centre wing. Well, you want that Lawrence Money to jump on that one as well, do you?
I don't know whether he's still writing that book, but you'd be the first page, I reckon, after that one.
Well, here's Wine on centre wing. Well, I did win the award, beat him out 2 years in a row many years ago.
Well, you're a big chance this year too.
So Wine versus Stein, centre wing.
Thrown in the air by umpire David Howlett. Wine couldn't get a clean glove to the ball. Umpire Howlett will have to do it again.
And Neil Barmer's reacted to the Footscray forward line, and he has rotated every one of his defenders. They all have a new opponent here now, with Primke coming out to take the dangerous Grant.
Well, umpire will throw it in the air for the 3rd time in 30 seconds, and if nothing comes of this, I'm tipping a free kick. Here we go. Wine.
Yes, no doubt about that one.
And funnily enough, the free kick was there as well. And Wine might get another one. A relayed free comes out to Liberatore. Wine was put down by Steins. There might be a bit going on between these two Brownlow medalists here today. Up short of the 50. Tunnel ball out the back. Grant had a chance, but his man got to it first. And Grant and Phoebe, Terry Wheeler, is a most interesting matchup. Stephen Phoebe picking up Chris Grant.
Yeah, no, in actual fact, they've just told that round just as we spoke there, with Primke now coming up, because he did have Stephen Phoebe and was just much too big for that player.
Thank goodness, because it looked very strange. Hargraves wins a good one. Kellett charges at it. Well done, Obst. Beautiful football by Obst. Melbourne needs something like that, and plenty more. Hilton marks.
Well, you'd think on the play they'd be about 6 goals behind. Now this is better play by Melbourne. Steve Phoebe sprints clear. He'll look down here to Sean Smith. He has a good punch away towards halfback. Todd Viney charges in hard. Here's Andy Lovell. Sean Smith hooks it out wide. Here's Dyson, who's a great kick of a football. Onto the left. Hooks it back. Well, you give a bloke a rap, but he was kicking off, and as it rolls back and rolls across the line for a behind the Melbourne, and it's good to see the ball go to Melbourne's end of the ground for a change.
Oh, it is, and but Footscray have stood up very strong. We see Brad Nicholson there about to kick the ball in. He's only played 24 games, playing alongside Darryl Griffin in the back pocket with 9 and Shane Allen the other back pocket, only 6.
Nicholson, 21-year-old from the Western Jets, to half-back. Quill gets the ball out. Cameron, lovely loping running style, Leon Cameron. Colin been excellent. Kick to half forward. Sexton's been good. No mark paid. It spills to Phoebe. High ball. Cameron again. He works off Obst. Can't get the ball. Liberatore's had it more than anybody. 8 disposals deliver. Out to West. Across the ground he goes. He gets support up from defence. Ellen. And his kick to centre half forward marked by Seacamp. Gee whiz, I paused there on Ellen. He's been around for about 3 years and played 7 games.
So Sean White, the centre wing. Oh, Footscray got all the answers at the moment. The mark taken here by Rowan Smith. And Smith on wing. I think their matchups look better, Melbourne, now in defence. Particularly Seacamp on Hargraves. Now Hargraves versus Seacamp. Seacamp did well. Todd Viney, some good shepherding by Primke allowed Todd Viney to bring it to centre wing. Hilton was worried about his opponent. Probably should have attacked the ball instead of worrying about where Rowan Smith was.
That was quite indicative of the two sides at the moment. Footscray have been very aggressive. They're now dominating the game. Melbourne just that touch hesitant and really looking to find that flow that gives them the run that they want.
Steins won the hit out. Primke on all fours. Can't get it out, and umpire David Howlett on screen. Or coming about, so there's Paul Primke. Underrated player. He's got the big job now on Chris Grant. So Wyandotte gets the position beautifully. Then with the left hand hit it out. It's Brett Lovett onto Hopgood. And the Demons go forward. Here's Neitz. Neitz working hard in front. Glenn Lovett. Back to Andy Lovett as a touch of the fumbles. He's got it though, he should give it off to Lovett. Now a chance for Melbourne. Lovett, a one-on-one contest in the square. Oh, Sean Smith, let's see what he can do. Good play against him by Allen. Good play because that was enormous pressure there on Shane Allen.
Very good work from Shane. Drew mentioned it's been a long time between drinks with Shane Allen. He's played the last 2 games, both off the bench, so he gets his start today in a most important position where he's matched down there with Sean Smith. Smith a bit of a jumper at times, but Allen controlled him well at ground level there. Smith
going through a purple patch in his career. Towards the outer side of the ground. Half-back flank. Mark dropped by Steins, but he regathers for the hand pass. Into Viney. A centering kick, Hopgood outside 50, has a run at it, offline, and hits the behind post on the full. And that'll be a free kick into play for Footscray.
That's very poor football, that. When you're on your own within 60 metres like that, something should happen, whether it be a goal or a short pass to someone. But Rowan Smith, long kick. Geez, he's kicking beautifully. Oh, good leap. That's Sean Smith flying from the... Gee, he's got a big leap. He is a very, very exciting player to watch, Smith. He's just got that natural leap. Low trajectory kick. That is a great kick because he was pretending to kick out to the right and he deliberately hooked at the line.
Smith came from Werribee. The only higher thing at Werribee is the sewage farm.
So the short one is on to Hilton. Hilton's taken the one-hander from the short pass by line. Very unselfish play by the captain. So they need this because Footscray have absolutely dominated this match so far. Jeff Hilton for Melbourne's first goal. If he kicks it, they'll only be 12 points down. It's on a pretty acute angle. Jeff Hilton kicks. Oh, I think he's missed. He has, and another behind. He doesn't look too happy with himself.
It was a very disappointing return there from Jeff Hilton. His teammates had worked hard to get it down to him, and when your side hasn't got their first goal on the board and you're some 25 minutes into the first quarter, you really do need to take the responsibility on and convert. He has the skills and the talent to have done better than that.
Rowan Smith kicks in. Melbourne heading for a goalless quarter in perfect conditions. And another great mark by Smith. He got higher than that famous Werribee farm that time. Kick by Smith. 1 against 3. Should be Footscray's ball. It works its way to the back, and Griffin clears for the Doggies. Out towards the back pocket. A bit of a fumble there by Ellen, and the ball's out of play for a throw-in.
I don't want to be too critical, Drew, but 3 times Melbourne have gone forward on their own players from 60 metres and just bomb it straight up in the air, hoping someone can take a mark. It's poor forward play.
And that time, not even Gary Lyon was anywhere in the contest. If Smith's kicking the ball, Lyon's got to be somewhere at the land of the ball.
Well, there should be someone in that situation who should be, don't you think, Terry? Someone should at least be leading and making space for the short one.
It's a funny whole season, Melbourne. In their last 4 games, they're win, lose, win, lose. And, of course, they lost their first 6 for the season. Here's Costa.
Line. Playing well. On the nose of Callan. Danger because Callan, low trajectory kick. Hargraves was underneath it. They race hard at the ball. Krimke was there. Now it's Scott West putting the head down, lying over the ball. Umpire calling play on. Steve Phoebe. Further field to Andy Lovell. Now on to Hopgood. Hopgood, a high floating kick in towards the half-forward line. Neitz has got a couple to beat. He used his body beautifully. Well played, David Neitz. Then he missed it. Todd Varney a chance. An open goal looms. And he hits the behind post on the half volley. So I think it'll be a throw-in. Yes, it wasn't on the full.
I couldn't believe that he wouldn't score something from there.
Well, Melbourne's forward play has been very, very ordinary so far. Mind you, it hasn't been down there that often. Lyon, well, he was grabbed as he went for that ruck contest. And the umpire says throw it in again, and Gary Lyon trying to get back and do something to lift his side. Or maybe Neitz' game for this one. Yes, David Neitz' turn against Stanfield. Taps it down with the left. Taken away by Nicholson. A quick kick to the half-back line. Wine dives under. He's working overtime there. Scotty Wine onto another Scott and West. And West showing some dazzling footwork. Brings it to the centre of the ground. There's no mark. Could have almost been in the back. The Footscray supporters thought so. Ops receives from Hopgood again. They bomb it up high, hoping someone could take a mark. The jumping Jack Smith was there. Andy Lovell on the left foot has got an open goal. Lovell, Lyon, yes. He's a class player, Lyon. He plays on and puts it through for a goal. Well played. Melbourne needed that, and it took their captain to do it. So now they're only down by 11 points.
And the Footscray fans thought there was a free there to Chris Grant. And so 3 seconds before the siren, Melbourne get their first goal. And they trail 3-3 to 1-4.